All right, beautiful people, my brothers and sisters, my beautiful patrons, come on in. Yeah, we got it. You see the title. Don't get scared. Make sure you have your bag with you. Don't need nobody throwing up on the floor. I know we got the spew. We got not the view. We got the spew. Now to come on in. Make sure you got your bags. Now, you're not a true patriot if you don't keep your bags. Y'all know y'all keep them bags, man. I know you got a pantry full of bags. Make sure you bought your bags now. Cause boy, oh, it's gonna get bad, man. We did a whole video on this a couple hours ago. You probably already watched it. Oh. But now we're piggybacking on for my brother Greg. And a couple of you guys sent this to me to react to. But this is not gonna be good, man. But y'all know what? The spew, the view shines a light on us. That we have a huge victory coming November. The Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, stage 4. There's no coming back. It's only been a rare 2%. They even said like 1.5% now of people that have came back from TDS, man. It's rare, but it has happened. You know, but when you get to stage 4, it's at 1.5%, you know? The hate, the lies. Man, and what's sad about this, you guys? They used to love him. They used to love Trump. They used to give him hugs and, you know, take their hand and stroke it through his hair. Ah, oh, we love you, Donald. We love you. Donald, we love you. Oh, man, especially back in the day, Donald was loved by everybody. Everybody. The people on MSNBC, I mean, you name it, everybody that has Trump deranged now. They have wiped this poor man through the mud. Through the mud, man. I got to hit my sirens because it's coming. It's coming, y'all. I got to hit my sirens. The sirens are back. I know y'all been asking for where the sirens been. They coming because it is coming. Feels good to be an American today, baby. Yeah. The red, white, and blue. But right now, millions are struggling. We all struggling, you know? So we encourage everybody to go vote. You should be fired up to go out there and vote, man. Vote down. I told y'all, vote down the list, man. You got to start voting down the list. But we encourage everybody to go out and vote, man. We can't get complacent. I don't care what the polls say. I don't care what this says. I don't care what that says. You know, CNN just came out yesterday saying it's looking like a landslide. They pulled the map up live on air, you know, and showed the over the 300. They showed it live on air. They're freaking out, wanting Biden out of there. The Dems, the left, they are shaking out their shoes. Liberal media just shaking out their shoes. Top Democrats, can we get them gone? But we know that ego. Biden's ego. Oh, man. Jill's in his ear. Shame on you, Jill. Hands behind your back. Elderly abuse. You know? But let's go and jump into this one, man. Let me see this title. The View lose their mind on Christie for refusing to vote for Democrats in 2024 election. Oh boy. And as you can see, a lot of people, man, y'all are blowing me up. Boy. Everybody is blowing me up, sending me all kind of emails right now. I love you guys. But as you know, the tide is turning, man. The tide is turning. A lot of people after July 13th, a historic moment, but we still want to send our prayers and love and condolences to the ones affected. Rest in peace, Corey Carpenter. And I love and prayer condolences to the Carpenter family. But very historic moment, man. you know. And a lot of people have come out and endorsed Trump. Democrats, never Trumpers, you name it. A lot of people are on board. But a lot of people was on board already from what they've seen with all the corruption, election interference. Can't tell you what the crime is. They've made this man more popular than ever. He was already popular, but now he's more popular than ever. And then what just took place on July 13, 2024? To stand tall, to stand confident, to stand his ground. Blood dripping down. Not knowing what's going on. Not knowing if it's his last moment. He tells you to fight, fight, fight. And these women, the cackling hens, they could care less what the man's going through. They could care less that he's got shot at. That he just survived. They could care less. Trump deranged. They spewed out all this hatred, negativity, trying to make you think this way of the man. Such an evil guy, dictator, racist. They spewed that hatred out, man. They want you divided. Divided. Again, we must pray for anybody that watches this in 2024. For real. I don't know how the show is still on the air, but we know the woke media isn't going anywhere. Let's jump into this, man. Sorry, I've talked up a whole storm, but just got to be real with you guys, man. You know?
Biden had been up there giving that speech, men in white coats would have interrupted him and carted him off and put him in a padded wagon. I thought today I would wake up and the TV would be full of like doctors talking about Donald Trump's cognitive decline. I thought it would be full of Republicans hanging their heads in shame like Democrats did. Joe Biden had a bad 90-minute debate. He said it's one episode. That's what we've seen so far. What we saw yesterday was a replay of Trump's 90-minute constant rallies. It's too bad the bandage was just over his ear. It should have been over his mouth.
For me, I have a lot of faith in the American people. And I don't know very many men who want to be talked to the way that this man has been talking to men in his audience. I don't know any women, and I know his grandchild was up on the thing, and they're trying to humanize him and change your idea about who this guy is. Don't fall for that.
Trump, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about Trump.
Look at her. Look at her face. I'm scared. I mean, like scared, y'all.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We gotta talk about more Democrat Party infighting, because it's not just the Democrats, the liberals, the progressives. They won't be the only people that's a part of this fight, okay, about who should be the Democrat Party nominee. It'll also be the never Trumpers as well, too, who are stuck between a rock and a hard place, because some of them, unless their name is Ana Navarro, they're not vote blue, no matter who, right? They're just like, well, I just don't like Trump, and I'm not going to vote for Trump, but that doesn't mean I'm going to vote for Joe Biden, okay? And that is the position that Christie is in. And again, I don't like Chris Christie. I'm not a big fan of Chris Christie, okay? But I gotta say, Chris Christie does make some pretty decent points here in regards to why he's not voting at all, which, hey, I'm cool with that, right? If another Trumper says, well, I'm not going to vote for Trump, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden either, I'm okay with that, right? I'm cool with that. But what I really don't like are the people like, again, Ana Navarro, who claims to be a Republican, but yet she's like, well, I am going to vote for Joe Biden in the most progressive agenda that we've ever seen, right? She's just essentially a Democrat. She's a full-blown progressive now, but she's claiming to be a conservative Republican. I don't like that. Now, again, with Christie is different. He doesn't claim to be a Democrat. He just claims to not like Trump. And that's fine, okay? That's okay. It's not my preference. I still think that these never-Trumpers are out of their minds by not voting for Trump. But it is what it is, okay? However, The View does not take this stance, okay? They're pissed off at Chris Christie for not voting for Joe Biden. Again, they're going to lecture him on why he should vote for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris really at this point. And it's a pretty fascinating conversation. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Vote
She
for
has
a
to pick
Democratic
a-
ticket?
Why then?
And I know you're not voting for Trump. Would you vote for a Democratic
Right
ticket?
now, I'm not voting for either. I'm just not. I can't. One guy is completely mentally incompetent
But you have
to do
to
the
vote.
job. No, I'm going to vote down ticket. I don't have to vote.
Yes,
no.
you do. You
If
do. You
if
cannot throw away your vote. I asked you this the last time you were on, Chris, and are you going
I
to
disagree
sit
with
this
you.
one out? You're
I'm
going
gonna
to sit
say-
this one out?
I am going to.
Don't you think it's rich for you to tell the Democrats that they've got to get rid of their nominee when you're not willing to vote for any of their nominees?
Well, he's
I
also
didn't
going to
say
wait
that.
and see what.
Wait a second. You just asked me who I'm voting for now. Biden is the nominee. Let me see what the
This is
Democrats
not the
do
time
if
willing
they
to
change.
vote
This
for
is not
another
the time to
willing-
sit it out, Governor.
I'm willing to consider anybody who presents himself as someone who will make the country better.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not encouraged by Kamala Harris's performance thus far, but
Give her a chance.
But hold on.
Give her a
Why
chance.
not?
Guys, why not?
We only
Bro, they are in flames. They are fuming. Why not, Chris? Huh? Why not? Why aren't you voting Dem? Huh? Why aren't you on the left, huh, buddy? You're supposed to be on the left with us. And you're also supposed to be going for our girl if she's up next. Because that's our girl. Cackling Kamala. We care less if she's unpopular. She's popular to us. Unbelievable.
only have like a minute 30.
Go
so
ahead,
I don't
use
have enough
it.
time.
Use it.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Here's the hilarious part about this. Again, for as Trump deranged as Chris Christie is, he's making the point of, well, I'm not just going to vote for a Democrat no matter who it is. I'm not going to vote blue no matter who, right? Which to them blows their mind. They're like, oh my God, you're not going to vote for a Democrat no matter who it is? You actually want to see their policies? You actually want to see who it is and whether or not you think they should be president of the United States instead of just coming out and voting against Trump like we're doing, like mindless zombies, right? This is what they're saying. And again, look who's in the mix. So-called Republican Anna Navarro is in the mix of, well, why are you not going to vote blue no matter who? I don't understand why she continues to call herself a Republican. And I wish that Chris Christie would have just called her out and be like, Anna, like, really? What are you doing right now? Right? Are you really trying to tell me
A complete
that I
joke.
should vote blue no matter who?
A complete joke.
It just shows you how Democrats, their party, they're not a party of critical thinkers. They're not a party of policy. They are a party of emotion. This is why they use hatefulness and divisiveness to push their agenda. And again, they can't lead with anything else, again, besides racial identity politics, because the policy doesn't matter, right? They don't care about that at all. They're like, hey, vote for us because Republicans racist. But again, at some point, that just doesn't work anymore. At some point, you have spammed that card so much that it doesn't work. And I really don't think it's going to work in this election. Like the whole concept of Democrats having an open convention, overthrowing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and picking some unknown governor is this idea that, well, it doesn't matter who it is as long as it's not Joe Biden or Kamala Harris by extension, because apparently they want to overthrow Kamala too. As long as it's not the current ticket, we're good, because everybody's just going to line up and vote blue no matter who. That's what's going to happen. This is what they think, because they believe that voters are stupid. Voters are so dumb that they're not going to care about the policies. We're going to come out here and roll some governor out that's going to basically say that, well, everything that the Biden administration did was amazing and it was great. You just need to vote for me because I'm not Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Trump. And again, I just don't think that's going to work. Okay. I just refuse to believe that people are that stupid. Now, I'm not saying there's not a significant amount of country that's that stupid, because most certainly there is. Okay. This is why the Democrat Party exists. If there wasn't so many stupid people in this country, we wouldn't have a Democrat Party. But I'm just saying that the idea that you can just put up anybody and people are going to vote blue no matter who, and that's going to win you an election because you're going to use Trump derangement as your main selling point, that may have worked in 2020 with Joe Biden. I don't think it's going to work in 2024 against Trump. Nope. And the reason why is because people have seen the results that we got under Trump versus the Democrats the last 4 years. And people know that the Trump card, so to speak, is played out for the Democrats. It's played out. So, hey, if they want to have this open convention and essentially divide their party even more and run with some unknown governor that nobody knows about,
good luck.
That's great, okay? Because it essentially guarantees a victory for Trump. And at this point, to be quite honest with you, unless something super crazy happens, which over the past 3 or 4 weeks, I'm not saying something super crazy won't happen in the future. It probably will, more likely than not.
Like we said, again, you hear what Greg is saying? So I've said the exact same thing, tons of videos. I told you we're living in the craziest, most darkest times in the biggest history yet, you guys. And you see when we reacted to what happened on July 13, 2024, live, recorded live, all we could do is shed tears. Because they have spewed this hatred. Divided, man. Have wiped this man through the mud. Trials that make no sense. Can't tell you the crime. Attacking the man's family, coming after assets, all kind of stuff. Lawsuits, and they can't even tell you. She can't even tell you what even took place, what happened, or what day it was, what month, or what year it was. It could have been bought 8 years ago. What? Can't beat the man fair and square, man.
It's almost basically guaranteed that Trump is going to win. Because even if Biden stays in a race, the Democrats have damaged him so much that he can't recover from that, right? If he's a nominee, Democrats can't take back all these things that they openly said about Joe Biden and put out there in the media. The genie's out of the bottle. You replace Joe Biden with Kamala Harris, they've already shown that, hey, she ain't all that competent either. And she still has the stigma of the Biden administration. She was a part of it. And she's not that talented. She's not that good. But again, if you replace both of them with some random governor, you're going to have the issue of popularity, trust. People don't know who this is, especially if you do it in an undemocratic way, which is what they're going to do. If they do it, if they have an open convention, that's going to destroy the party, right? Yeah. Trump derangement is destroying the Democrat Party right now, guys. I want you guys to understand. Trump derangement is destroying the party. Is at the point now where
Stage 4. No coming back. Stage 4. Stage 4, man. They be in that live on air. Stage 4, boy. Woo. Let it rain. Let it rain. Let it rain. Let it rain.
They are imploding from their Trump derangement. They've spammed it so much that it is now hurting them, right? It is one of the most fascinating things that I've ever witnessed in politics. What's currently happening to the Democrat Party.
But to answer your question directly, I think that they're going to get rid of Biden. I think it's most likely to be Harris. And I think she has to pick a moderate Democratic governor.
You know who I like? Mark
to try to be unifying. Listen, Trump had the chance to be unifying.
And he wasn't.
He could have picked someone like Glenn Youngkin, for instance, who would have been a much more unifying choice. He doubled down.
Glenn Youngkin.
Who would have been a more unifying choice than J.D. Vance.
He absolutely would.
Well, what he actually really means is that, Glenn Youngkin is more of the traditional establishment corporate Republican type, right? This is what Christie actually means. I mean, that's essentially who he is. But ultimately, Trump picked a guy that is going to give them the best chance of winning the states that Trump really needs to win in order to win the election.
And
what about John Tester from Montana? He's pro-gun, but he's a liberal.
But Tester won't be picked
In a
because,
red
first
state.
of all,
He's one in a
first
red
of all,
state.
he can't deliver his 3 votes in Montana.
Well, it's a red state with a very, very red state.
He's on the ballot.
Let me tell you something. Any Democrat's got to win Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The choice should be Josh Shapiro. And it's really that simple.
I like him.
Hey,
politically, and he's popular right
would
now.
Would that ticket be
20
a Trump
seconds,
Vance
Johnny.
ticket?
He has a much better chance of beating a Trump Vance ticket than the Biden-Harris ticket.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that a Kamala Harris plus a Josh Shapiro or a Roy Cooper from North Carolina, that's also another name being thrown out there. I think that would probably give Democrats the best chance of winning, right? If the Democrats are going to go this route, if I was them, but I hope there are no Democrats watching this video, they might get some good ideas. A Kamala Harris and a Josh Shapiro, somebody from a swing state like a Pennsylvania that you have to win, or a North Carolina, which is less likely they would win North Carolina regardless if they pick Roy Cooper. But
I don't
anyways,
think so. Yeah.
Somebody from a swing state that's a more moderate governor would be the best ticket, right? The problem is that, again, you still have Kamala at the top of the ticket. And if you really wanted to increase your chances of winning, Kamala would have to take a step back and then let the man lead, which would create a very awkward situation, right, optically for Democrats, because everybody would immediately say, well, Kamala's not really, she ain't really the one that's running things, okay? It'd be obvious. But that would probably give Democrats the best chance. But that doesn't mean that they have a good chance of winning. It just means that out of every other...
Did somebody just comment they're stuck with Joe? I heard that. I heard that. I heard that in the comments somewhere. Somebody just said they're stuck with Joe.
Other scenario or every other option, that's probably the best option. But again, Kamala's at the top of the ticket. And again, I'm not entirely sure which governor who is looking to seek office in the future, 2028, 2032, why would you want to be associated with this administration? That's also another problem as well, too, with the open convention. If I was a Democrat governor and I had a decent approval rate, I wouldn't want to be associated with this. This is a dumpster fire right now.
Dumpster.
So why would you
Big
want
dumpster.
to be associated with picking up the pieces of a failing administration? Doesn't really make sense to me. So we'll see. We'll see.
Biden-Harris ticket will not win. Can't win.
So would you vote for Harris Shapiro?
Don't know. Let me see what they have to say.
Oh, but
You have to see what they say. Policy matters.
It matters. I'm sorry that I care what people stand for. I apologize.
We do too.
I'm not going to pre-commit
we
to it.
know what the other side
Let them
stands
perform
for.
and earn my vote.
Choice.
People should have their vote earned, not given.
By the time we get a hold of him next time, he'll be voting
for you,
Biden.
Joy.
Thanks
I'll write you in.
Thank you to Christie. My new.
Wow. That segment says a lot about these individuals. I mean, they quite literally will vote for anybody, right? They will vote for anybody on the left.
That Trump derangement syndrome, boy, I tell you. Oh, and like I said, they used to love this man. Love him. He's been on The View. Used to love him. So he became Republican until he ran for office.
As long as they're not Trump and they don't care what the policy positions are, they don't care what they actually really believe, in their head, it's not possible for a Democrat to be worse than Trump. And that is really dangerous, right? That is actually a dangerous mindset when you're essentially saying that, well, we hate a guy so much that we don't even care about what our guy stands for. We just want to get rid of that guy. That essentially opens the door for what these people claim they're trying to prevent, or what they're trying to fight against, to actually take over the Democrat Party, right? That opens the door for an actual demagogue in the Democrat Party to rise up because of this mindless approach of just saying, well, we're going to vote for the Democrat no matter what. I mean, it really is something that is fascinating to behold. But again, like I told you guys, the main takeaway here is that all of this is happening because of Trump derangement. And it's the Democrats' fault because, again, they've overplayed the Trump card, and now the Trump card is backfiring big time, right? That's what's happening here. Because, if Trump was just some run-of-the-mill Republican, if Trump was a Mitt Romney, if Trump was a Christie, they wouldn't care. right? They'd be like, you know what? Biden's old, but we're not going to rock the boat. We're not going to destroy the party to beat Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, you know, he's close enough to us where we can stomach 4 years of it, right? We'll put up another candidate. But simply because it's Trump, this is why they're doing this. And it's fascinating. I think that it's going to destroy him. Like, I mean, legitimately, I think it's going to be the most damaging thing to ever happen to the Democrat Party in recent memory. And I can't wait for it. But let me know what you got.
Yes, indeed, man. Huge shout out to my brother Greg, man. And thank y'all for sending that over. Love my brother, man. Link is in the description box down below. Oh boy. That Trump derangement syndrome, man. It's disgusting. You know? And again, let's pray for anybody that still watches that in 2024. You know? The hate, the lies, what they spew out, it's just, boy. Boy. I know a lot of people were glad Whoopi wasn't on that segment. People say Chris is just mad that Trump didn't give him a position. Oh boy. Someone says Biden shouldn't be allowed to drop out after months of the media, The View, etc. Telling he is vital and it's just in line to the American people. Can't imagine any of the Dems wanting to be on the ticket with Harris. Wait until 2028. Like they say, man. Like I think, you know, that they've dug their own hole, and you got to live with that hole. You got to figure out what you're gonna do. If you're gonna put something in it, if you're gonna do this, you know, you dug your own hole. You know, and I think his ego is too high. He's not dropping out. Again, I don't know. We seen Nancy freaking out in her shoes, had a full meeting with him saying, hey, buddy, we're not going to beat Trump. A threat to our democracy. We're going to need you to, step down, buddy. You don't have to step aside. I'm sorry. You know? He's like, ho, Nancy. Let's not go there. We can still win. Yeah. So they're shaking out their boots right now. But we're going to see how this thing plays out. You know? We are going to see how this thing plays out, man. But hey, let me know what y'all think. Comment down below. I am wishing the best in all you guys' life. I love y'all. And again, make sure you take your bag. Make sure you. Hey, now, if you use your bag, I see some of y'all used it and threw up in the bag. Now, make sure you throw your bags out. Now, take care of that. Now, honestly, unbelievable.